know your why. And for me, my why is purpose. My why is seeing how I can impact my clients, my employees, my like those around me. It's just like watching their lives change, and it's just like, okay, I see y'all. Now I see y'all turning on the gospel.
I love that.
Do that, but yeah. Sometimes people think rich is monetary, and it's not. Be rich in your spirit. Be rich in the flesh. Be rich as a great person, and I think I would want that to be my legacy and just.
Please help me welcome my next guest to the show. Loriel Colon is a resilient and dedicated mother who has encountered many obstacles throughout her journey, but has found a way to rise above it all through unwavering faith and determination. Lori not only has a degree in criminal justice, but is also a licensed esthetician, proudly owning her own beauty bar in Northeast Philadelphia. Passionate about inspiring and motivating others, Lori is a mentor for those who are also in search for more in their life. She is committed to helping those around her by sharing her story and remaining grounded in God's plan for her. I had the pleasure of meeting Lori at one of the Women in Business Summits I hosted in the summer of 2023. Ever since then, we have been supporting each other's journey and making space for each other's growth. Please help me welcome Loriel Colon to the show. Okay, so welcome to the Thrive Podcast,
Hey,
my
girlfriend.
love. How are you?
I am good by the grace of God.
Ooh, I know you had a little bit of a travel coming here,
Yes.
but I hope that everything was perfect. And I'm just so happy that you're here, and I'm lucky to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me,
Yeah,
too.
of course. I'm so excited for our conversation, babe. So
Yes.
I know a little bit about your story, but I want everyone to know a little bit more about you. So who is Loriel Colon? What does she do? I know you're a beautiful mother of a young man.
Yes.
Young 10-year-old man. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about me. So it's not a little bit when it comes to me. It's a
No,
lot.
it's not.
If there was like Loriel Colon in the dictionary, I would say a resilient woman, a headstrong woman, an independent woman, a loving mother, a passionate mother. My identity is a mom. I need hobbies outside of being a mom. I do have a beauty bar by the grace of God. I find myself empowering women a lot. I feel like that's a part of my like purpose and also my testimony. And just being freely me and being that light in people's lives that God has intended for me to be.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that because I've always really resonated with being a light. And just recently, we're going to kind of touch base on like your story and, why you're here and stuff like that. What do you do? But I feel like that light, I'm going to talk a little bit about faith today because I know my girl is a God-fearing woman. And I also have walked in my journey with God over the past year, and it's been completely transformative. I'm a different person.
Amen.
And I feel like, I don't know about you, but that light, now I don't see that it's coming just from me. It's actually coming from our Father's love, God's love through us. And that's how we're able to emit that love and that light to other people.
So true.
So it's really, honestly, for me, recently, I'm like, it's like the Holy Spirit is in me.
Yes.
And I've never, ever said that until, honestly, just recently. So I love that. It's going to be a good conversation. We might cry. We might shed a few tears.
No, we can't mess the makeup up.
But just wanted to kind of just, leave that out there. But so tell us, you are a lash artist. You're a business owner proudly in Northeast Philadelphia.
Yes.
How did that get started? How did you start becoming a lash artist? How did you start your own business? What were the beginning stages for you like?
So I feel like it's not the cliche story that you would normally hear.
Yeah.
I think this is why my business is wrapped around faith over fear and live on purpose, because I feel like God was breaking me. And when I say breaking me, gracefully breaking me, and I didn't understand why. I was battling demons personally. I was having sleep paralysis. I was hanging around the wrong people. My life was just so dark. And then my son's father got incarcerated. And I can proudly say, by the grace of God, I had a child with an amazing father.
Yeah.
Period.
I love that.
Like, he's an amazing man. And when he was, by the grace of God, after 7 years, proudly he's now home. But before then, when he was out, he was a hands-on father. I felt like he was the mom and I was the dad. Like I would go to work if my son had a doctor's appointment or whatever it was. He was the one taking my child to the appointments. He was the one picking him up from after school. Like whatever it was, he was on it. And when he got incarcerated, I was
everything
like,
changed.
My world. I literally remember like yesterday, I was in Turks and Caicos, living my best life, and then I get a phone call.
Not at Turks and Caicos,
Listen,
girl.
Turks and Caicos, and I get a phone call, and my mom's like, "Listen, enjoy your vacation, because life is gonna hit you when you come back home."
Oh my God, babe.
But I'm so thankful. Like now that I share my story, it's a lot. But anyway,
yeah, for sure.
I was like, something's gonna have to give, because how am I gonna, like, I don't have a supportive family when it comes to my son.
Okay.
Like I'm literally, well, I was a single mom. Like Lori, if I had to call into work, I was like, all right, clearly I'm gonna have to miss work. Clearly I'm gonna have to leave early. Clearly there's gonna be something that's not gonna work out.
Yeah.
Where a 9 to 5 just wasn't fitting my plans. And I always felt too when I was working, like my light is so bright. I can't see myself in corporate America.
Yeah, 100%.
It just doesn't work out. And I remember I was not able, well, at the time I was working at a Christian health center, but that's a whole other story, how God put me in that room when I was battling those demons. But yeah, I was just like, something's gonna have to give. Like, what am I gonna do? So it was either between lip gloss and lashes. And I'm like, girl, you got some nice lips, but that's gonna take some time. So I took this lash training, and I was like, yeah, this ain't for me. And I was like, Lori, you're not a quitter. Like, stop. So I called my sister-in-law over. I did her lashes. And then when I like had my apartment, I made it into such a zenful place. And then by the grace of God, February, 7 years, I'm here.
Oh my God, I love that.
Thank
so
you.
how, I guess like my question is like, what was your main vision for your life at that time? Like what was, I mean, it sounds like your son was a big part of why you started doing this.
Yes.
Yeah, like I guess like what was your stronghold? Like what was that thing that really kept you going during those times?
I think I was in
Even
such a,
though you weren't really, passionate about lashing, you just
right.
said.
But I think it was me in those dark times, and I felt like a sense of peace, and I resonated with my girl so much, and it was like therapy for the both of us. And it was just like, okay, I see what's going on. Like I'm enjoying this. I'm sitting down. I'm making women feel beautiful. Then also, besides making them feel beautiful, we're having engaging conversations. And it just was therapy for me. It was like a sense of purpose. And I'm like, okay, God,
sure.
I see what's going on here. Yeah.
I love
see
that.
what's
So
going
I
on.
think God probably placed these women in your life, and you became either a mentor, a therapist, or a friend. You built a connection with them, and then I know that's where you really thrive in, just because you are, we're very similar in that sense. Like connections, intentional relationships are very big for us. Energy is very big, so I feel like that was like the start of your journey, probably.
It really was.
Your testimony, yeah.
It was. And it's like, this is why I'm so big on faith. Just have a little bit of faith, as long as it's like a little bit of mustard seed, simply because what you might want for your life, that doesn't necessarily mean God wants that for your life. Like I went to school, got a college degree. I was in corporate America. My resume was impeccable. And when my world literally crushed right before my eyes, I'm like, huh? Hold up, take a step back. And now when it comes full circle, it's like, okay, you gracefully broke me to rebuild me back up.
Yeah, 100%. So what were those beginning stages looking like? Like how did life, like your day-to-day actually look like? Because, maybe an aspiring entrepreneur is listening to this right now. A mom is going through something, and, she also has to kind of fend for herself and be like, I got to get through this no matter what. So how did that day-to-day look like?
Okay, so the day-to-day, let's start off with I had 2 jobs and I was lashing. So I would wake up bright and early, get my son and I ready, take him to daycare. I'll go to my 9 to 5. After my 9 to 5, I'll be lashing from 6 to 12. And then if I give any advice, from 6 to 12 like a.m., go to sleep, repeat that. Then on weekends, I'll be working the nightlife from Friday through Sunday. So it was just like, if I would tell anybody, don't get discouraged if things aren't working out exactly the way you want them to work out right then and there. Because I feel like sometimes when it comes to entrepreneurship and business, people want the money.
Yeah.
But the money's going to come when you do what you love. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And just stay obedient, stay grounded, and stay within the hustle. Like, it's so easy to get distracted within the world because everyone's going to show the night and day.
Yeah.
You know how fast it goes for them.
They're going to see the result.
But they're not going to see
and
the
it's
struggle.
also a very highlighted portion of your result too. So,
and one thing I can say for me, it wasn't easy. A lot of sleepless nights, a lot of tears, a lot of disconnecting from friends who didn't see my vision, who weren't on the same page as me, who weren't. I had friends that I'll be like, hey, I can't go out because I have to lash a client. And they're like, no, we're going to go. Like, it's fine. Like, don't worry. We're going to come home early. Then get me belligerently drunk. And now I have to cancel my full day. And I'm like, these are not the friends I want around me.
Yeah, no, absolutely no.
And it came a point in time. Well, there's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother story. But stay obedient. If you have to cut people off that are not serving you or see your vision, it's okay to walk the path alone because you're never alone. Literally, like God is my guy. Like he is with you and he's never going to forsaken you. Like you're never going to be in any situation by yourself because he has his armor, his angels around you to get you through those times. And honestly, just girl, the Holy Spirit child. But just if I give any advice, stay true, stay down. Don't go against your moral values, your principles. Your morals and values and principles, and trust the journey, trust the process, talk to God, and he's going to get you through.
Okay. Amazing. So, were there any challenges that obviously it doesn't sound like it was an easy road for you? Were there any challenges in specific that you feel like you had to learn how to navigate? Or were there any mindset shifts that you've had to make as a woman that really made you who you are right now and your business, to be honest?
Yes. The closest people to you will not support you. And I think in any entrepreneur, like any endeavor that you are in, we expect from other people. We expect the support from the closest people to us. And it's not going to happen, unfortunately, all the time. If it does, God bless you. And if it doesn't, that doesn't necessarily mean there's something wrong with you. That means you have to evolve. You have to change. You have to attract your community. And I think that was the biggest thing for me. Like, wow, like.
It was a big eye opener, probably.
Like y'all quick for me to go to the club with y'all, but y'all not quick to go to a networking event. Or y'all not quick to help me build my business or promote me or do these things.
Support me. Even just a comment, text, anything, just check in.
Yeah, and I think that was the biggest hurdle. And then with family too, I didn't have a lot of support when it came to my son. Like I had to physically pay my mother to watch my baby. Like it was always that. And it was just like, it hurted a little bit because I felt so alone. But then now when I see, like, God had to put me through that where now by the grace of God, we live a pretty comfortable life.
Yeah, I love that, babe. I love that. It sounds like, with each conversation that I have in those beginning stages, it's kind of like the same consistent, like, what's the word?
The response? The rebuttal?
Response, like, of... I guess like what they also went through, loss of friendships, loss of family members, people not really understanding them or supporting them, loneliness a lot, like entrepreneurship can be really lonely. So yeah, I salute you, girl, and I give you your flowers.
Thank you.
So I know that you're a mom and a business owner. You tend to wear a lot of hats. How do you feel like you balance it all? Or how do you feel like you finally kind of got a flow of things?
Boundaries.
Love that.
I feel like boundaries are so imperative when it comes to wearing numerous hats.
Right.
Simply because we are not in control. And sometimes we think we're in control where we chase. And it's like, no, take a step back. What are these areas in your life? Because then the plant's going to grow organically. It's not like you have to force things. So I feel as though definitely boundaries, like having a set schedule, doing what makes you happy. Because how are you going to flourish within your business? How are you going to pour out into the community or within your family members or things like that if you're broken and empty inside?
100%.
So you have to be a healthy selfish. And
healthy selfish.
I always call it, because I feel like sometimes when people hear selfish, they're like, oh, that's like, you're selfish. And it's just like, no, I'm a healthy selfish so I can pour into every other plant that needs to be poured into.
100%, yeah.
So I think the biggest thing I would say is definitely have like healthy boundaries and don't let people feed you lies and tell you things that you know in your heart and within your spirit of discernment is not the actual truth. Yeah.
I love that, girl. Okay. So we're talking a little bit about faith already. So how has faith and walking with God played a role in the woman that you've become today? So I know he took you out of your mess and he's creating a beautiful testimony for you. It's still It's still in the works. How has that been such a monumental thing in your life?
I feel like, ooh, child, Father God, no water works. No water works. Oh, hold on, give me 5 seconds. I literally have faith over fear tatted on me.
Yes, I saw
like,
that.
I feel like every time my back was against the wall, it's like he never let me fall. And I feel like I always had a relationship with him no matter what I endured in my life. And
Okay, girl.
No, hold on.
You need to take a step.
girl. All right, I got this. All right, so here we go. So I just feel like I've always had a relationship with him, and I never really understood why I was going through so much. And again, it's just like he was always there. And that faith, when you know that you're covered, and it's like I got betrayed, backstabbed by so many people, but I never put dirt with dirt. I always took the higher road. And it's like, oh, God was always in my ear, like, girl, I got you. Stay grounded. Stay 10 toes. I got you. And you know that saying how they say, like, they'll laugh at you, but then when God, like, blows you up in front of their faces, then it's just like, whoa, okay, I see what's going on. I just feel like I never went without. And I'm not talking about monetary. I'm not talking about things in that nature. I just never, like, my soul was never broken. Like, I've always was still Loriel, even when my world was, like, crumbled. And I think that's where my faith comes into play, knowing, like, God always had me, will always have me, and I'm going to be good by the grace of God.
I love that, girl. I feel like that's what it is. I mean, you're a Capricorn too.
Yeah.
I'm a Capricorn too. And, you know, I was talking to this about with my other guests as well. And we like a plan. We like structure. We like, I guess, like to do things with our own will. And I feel like during this faith that I've also walked into, I feel like that's what faith really is. It's actually, it's not your journey. It's God's journey. It's like God's plan for you. It's not your plan. It's God's plan. Right. So I really resonate with that because, and it's something that I'm also kind of like surrendering to, learning to surrender to. And also it's become easier to actually, honestly, it feels more peaceful, to be honest, to let God do his thing.
So that's the thing. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. What were you going to say?
When you release control, when I tell you, it's literally like a breath of fresh air. Because at the end of the day, our journey, our blueprint is already written. How do we expect God to open new doors for us if we're hesitant to close those doors that we're not meant to be walking through or like continuing in, you know? So it's just like, I used to be that way where it's like,
yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
it needs to go this way. If not, then I'm having hissy fit. And it's just like, oh, like my
it
world
needed to go my way or the highway.
And no, and it's so like that's the truth. But I feel like even with me, when I wanted, what I saw my life was, I don't even know, me being a DA for domestic abused women, and I was determined to get there. But it's like he will take that rug up under you and be like, no, girl, you're going to listen to me.
Yeah.
Because how stubborn we can be and how in control we can be sometimes. And it's just like, girl, release control. Faith over fear, child. He got you.
He will humble you if you need to.
Literally.
For sure. Okay, so what legacy do you want to leave behind? Have you ever thought of that? Or even like what advice would you give someone who is like in the beginning stages of their business or in the beauty industry, honestly?
So let's start with the legacy. So the legacy that I would want to leave behind is I want to be a reflection of no matter what day you're having, still show up, still be a light. And I want that to, even through my child, I see the way he is. And it's just like, it's not monetary. Like, sometimes people think rich is monetary, and it's not. Be rich in your spirit. Be rich in the flesh. Be rich as a great person. And I think I would want that to be my legacy. And just when people see those, my children or those who were associated with me, they'll see the positive impact that I made in their lives and how they are a reflection of me. So I think that's a part of my legacy because I can have the Bentleys, the things and that. I don't have no Bentleys, hold on. But if I do and if God blesses, that doesn't dictate me. That doesn't dictate my success or anything like that. I feel like my light, my energy, that's so rich, like rich AF to me. So that's that. And you said, what advice?
Yeah, what advice would you give someone who wants to get into the beauty industry, lashing perhaps, and run their own business? Like, what advice would you give to them? I know you mentor women.
Okay.
So
let's talk about the beginning first, and then what I would give to the business, because I learned a lot.
Okay.
Because, if you're just a solo beauty entrepreneur, what I would tell you is believe in yourself, promote yourself. Even if there's that one like can turn into a client. And then that one client can then be a domino effect for others.
Yes.
So don't get discouraged. Stay hungry. Stay motivated. Stay disciplined. Eliminate the noise. Eliminate the no-sayers. Keep your relationship with God. Talk to God, because he will pave the way for you. And invest into yourself, because no one's going to invest into yourself the way you are. And no one's going to see the vision the way you're going to see the vision. So that's what I would tell the first, newcomer beauty entrepreneurs. When it comes to business, hold on. Woo, child, because I learned a lot, okay? My way of going into business was always showing up as my true authentic self. And I still do show up as my true authentic self, but boundaries. We spoke on boundaries. I'm such a passionate lover, a passionate giver, I want to see you win. But not everyone has that same mindset for you.
Yes.
And it's like you genuinely have to be cautious of the company you keep, because you don't know who's waiting to throw that dagger. And it's unfortunate. But I would tell any business owner who's looking to hire employees, set boundaries from the get-go. From the get-go. This is a business because you built this. You sacrificed everything for this to happen. And they'll help you lose it in the blink of an eye. So you have to set boundaries and have an open door policy. Allow your girls to know, or your employees, whomever, this is an open door policy. I'm here to motivate you, give you free game, whatever the case may be. But always make sure the intentions are pure from their side as well, where you guys are washing each other's hands, because even in the Bible, iron sharpens iron. So I think that's something I would give definitely to those who are looking to open up a storefront and things like that. Because by the grace of God, I now have an amazing team. But, it was a learning process.
Yeah,
for me.
100%. Yeah.
I
feel like scaling is not easy at all. Growing the team is not easy at all.
It's not, but even in my nightlife days, I dealt with women. There was women that I probably didn't like, but we always respect the fact that we're here for a mission.
Yeah.
We're here to get some money, take care of our household, and bounce.
I love that.
We don't have to kiki or nothing like that, but let's respect one another.
There's boundaries.
Boundaries, literally boundaries. So I would say have boundaries and know why you're doing, know your why. And for me, my why is purpose. My why is seeing how I can impact my clients, my employees, those around me. It's just watching their lives change. And it's just okay, I see y'all. Now I see y'all turning on the gospel.
I love that.
Do that. But yeah.
Was there anything from your upbringing or anything from your past that really you feel made you the successful entrepreneur that you are today? Whether that's, how you fed off of discipline or whatever the case may be. Is there anything that from the past, it really made you who you are today?
Not having a handout.
Okay, I love that.
And I mean that from parents. The only person that I can say is my grandparents. Well, that's
oh my God, yes, I love your grandparents.
My grandparents are my angels on earth. God bless my babies. But I had a rough childhood. There's no shame in it. I'm so big on my testimony and my story, but listen, there's no shame in my game. But I think the biggest thing that I took growing up, that I was so rebellious, I don't have a handout. I don't have people who are pushing me, hugging me, giving me a kiss, telling me they're proud of me. I didn't have that. I always pushed myself. If there was extracurricular activities in school, I was doing it to get away from the chaos at home. And I've always been independent since I could remember. If it's walking from school, taking buses, finding a job. At 13,
you've had to become so resourceful on your own at such a young age.
That part, and being fed to the wolves and learning from my mistakes. And I even tell my son to this day, I'm not going to be here. Although I changed your upbringing from my upbringing, I'm still going to teach you those lessons.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be
There's
there to
still
hold you.
morals and values and lessons to be learned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to hold your hand all the time.
Yeah.
You need to fall. You need to
Yeah.
scrape your leg to learn how you're going to heal it.
Yeah.
So I think not having a handout and not having guidance and being fed to the wolves is what helped me and molded me to this woman today.
Oh,
Period.
I love that.
Stop it, girl. We said no water words.
Girl, because honestly, like in entrepreneurship, like you have to really figure it out. And I feel like, you know, my upbringing is a lot different from yours. And I'm just so happy with what, you know, me going through my mess. I have grown so much empathy for humanity, for people that I meet, for their stories. Like I empathize so truly because not that I had handouts, but, you know, I did grow up in a pretty okay upbringing. I was pretty loved. I was told, like, I was praised. And sometimes that kind of bites you in the butt, like, especially if you're trying to do entrepreneurship and you're just like waiting for this validation or just wait. Like you think, you know, I went through school, you know, I'm a nurse. So I went through 4 years of schooling. I have been a nurse for about 10 years now. So it's very different. The regimen is different. You know, I've always been used to like routine and kind of knowing what I'm going into when I start my day. So entrepreneurship is not that way
At all.
So I've had to learn through really rough times. So I am very, very grateful for, you know, God humbling me.
By the grace of God.
And really going through a really dark time in my life because I feel like that's how I was really able to get myself out of that and become resourceful.
Exactly.
And really empathize with other women and other people in general because I'm just, I feel them, you know, I feel their heart, I feel their pain, like, and I just know that there's another way out. So I do love that.
Thank you.
And I love that we can be two different women with two different upbringing and really just show love for each other and know that it's coming from a pure place.
That part.
And yeah.
But even to bounce back on what you stated in regards to, although your upbringing wasn't as tough as mine, that does not discredit or take away from things that you went through that I might have not went through that still impacted you in that certain way. Because at the end of the day,
for sure.
we go to grow.
Yeah.
You know? And it's a blessing and I'm honestly proud of you. You know, because sometimes I'm not that I'm surrounded by, but I see like the gritty, the hustle where I don't see people who get outside their comfort zone, who change their trajectory, especially when it's something that's safe and secure for them. And you're doing that. So I commend you.
Thank you, baby.
Hats off.
Thank you. We just got to give each other flowers, honestly. That's what you got to do, honestly.
Yeah. I feel like we need more women like that.
We need more women like that. Yeah. So that's why it's so important for me, honestly, to create this podcast because if it wasn't for podcasting, honestly, it's helped me grow and evolve into the woman that I've become today. It's been like my mentorship. It's been everything for me. So if I've grown through podcasting and listening to people who are like 20x ahead of me in their chapter 50 and I'm in my chapter 1 and I can learn from them and I'm really applying things, I want to be that for someone else.
You're going to be that.
Yeah.
Because you're on your way.
And
you're doing what you need to do. And that's all.
I love that, babe. Okay, so last question, and we can obviously touch base on anything else you want to touch on. But what helps you thrive in your life and in your business? Do you have any non-negotiable practices? I know you said boundaries are a really big thing for you, but are there any routines, practices that helps you thrive?
Yes, I stay away from negativity.
I love that.
People know. I love to be the water to a plant. But if the plant is not growing, I have to water another plant. Which means one thing about me, people are like, oh, I'm sorry for trauma dumping. You're not trauma dumping because I enjoy these deep conversations. Yeah. But I feel like once I get a negative Nancy that's always negative Nancy, I'm just like.
And they're not doing anything about it.
I cannot. I'm so big on people who are negative. It messes with my mojo, and I just can't have that around me. And I think solitude, loving me, I think that helps me within my path as well because the outside doesn't matter to me because I know who's inside. I know who I am.
Yes, girl.
And it's just like, that helps me by like pouring into myself, whether that's working out, whether if that's me taking myself out to dinner, me, whatever it is when it comes to pouring into me. And then also too, like, I might be a loner, but me and my choochie, like me and my son, like
He's like, when are you gonna mention me?
Like, I love my bookie. He knows that. And I just feel like it's always us. And I'm so protective of him because I needed that protection from my younger self and I didn't have that.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I pour that onto him and it's just like.
And that helps you show up and thrive in your life and helps you show up as a better businesswoman?
Yes, it does because I'm happy. I associate myself with things that make me happy so I could be happy.
Yeah, it's really hard to pour into building something, managing a team, you know, being with your clients when you're feeling empty and you're not feeling, and your energy's off. But
that's another thing too. I could be battling the world. No one would ever know. I don't allow those things to
affect
my energy. I'm very, I don't know if you saw the video with me and my son. We were interviewing each other and he's like,
oh my God, yes, I saw a few minutes of it.
I know this isn't a bad question, but why are you always so happy?
Yes, he did ask
and
you
I'm just like, because I don't allow things that I go through to determine my mood, because at the end of the day, there's power in prayer. There's power in that relationship with God, and there's power within that word. And I feel like that's what keeps me grounded. That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me knowing it's going to be okay even when it's not okay. And even like road rage, when people are driving, I'm like, oh my God, God bless you. Why did you just put the middle finger up? Like, they're like, pew, don't, but they're like, pew. And I'm like, God bless you. It's going to be a good day. And I'm just like, this world has a lot of angry people, and don't put dirt with dirt and show them the light. Like, so just fuel your cup, be around people you love, do things that you love to do, and keep your energy high, because at the end of the day, we're always battling our subconscious mind, our old ways. Yeah. And we have to do the inner work to change those ways, to show up and become a better person and grow through
It's so true. It's so true. Well, thank you so much, my love. I do want people to follow you. If you want to, we are going to put your page and your Instagram in the show notes. But where can people follow you? Do you have anything else that you want to leave our audience and our listeners with before we wrap up?
Yes. So before I give the handles, because y'all gonna love me like I love y'all. I definitely want to say, if you're going through a tough time right now, if you're battling anything right now, if you're feeling unworthy, unloved, incapable, if you're feeling like you have no support, literally leave it at God's feet, because He has you. Love on yourself. Tell yourself each and every day you are worth it. If you don't feel worth it, find a way to feel worth it. Do your hair. Take yourself out to eat. Paint your toes.
It's the little things.
The littlest things. Yeah. Let's put on a podcast. You know, if you don't have friends.
Sorry, podcast.
If you don't have friends, make friends within yourself before you seek outside.
That's so true.
Relationships. Build that relationship within yourself. And
work on yourself first.
Let go and let God, and faith over fear, y'all.
Yes, girl.
Period. But now we're going to do the handles, okay?
Yes. Share your handles with us.
So I recently changed my Instagram name from, I'm not going to say it because that's no longer my Instagram name, but the Instagram is Loriel. I just changed it. Is it Loriel's or L'Oreal Lane? Hold on, you guys.
Sure.
Hold on, wait a minute. I am not finished. It is LORIEL LANE _ and then my YouTube is LORIEL _LANE. And my business page is LOREHEL Lash. So everything's L'Oreal, but there's 2 L'Oreal's Lanes and then L'Oreal Lash. And
I love the personal branding and then the business attached to that. I love that.
It's so crazy because the business name is just the pronunciation, like the breakdown, L'Oreal. And then I broke free from that because that was just a phase in my life where now I changed to my government, L'Oreal, LORIEL. Okay. With the correct spelling, not the pronunciation, because I'm owning who I am. I love that. Yeah, I always would go with Lori, but Lori's still there.
Okay, so we like L'Oreal.
we're transitioning into L'Oreal. I'm
Okay.
a woman.
Oh, I love that.
That
Okay, I gotta get my stuff together then.
I healed Lori. Lori got some trauma. Lori got scars from fighting people, child. But that's not her no more, by the grace of God.
Well, thank you so much, my love, for joining us today and being our guest at the Thrive Podcast. And I know people are gonna literally be following you and connect with you and hopefully even get mentored by you. So I love that so much, babe. Thank you so much.
Give a hug, Chooch.
Yes,
God bless you.
love you.
So proud of you.
Thank
Love
you
you
so
too.
much.
Pow.
So we're wrapping